And it's always interesting to see how this map, spawns. But a lot of RNG on this map is, sometimes ponds will have only shorefish, and sometimes ponds will have deep fish. And the deep fish gather quite a bit faster than the shorefish. And oftentimes when you do get deep fish, they're very close to the dock, so it has a much larger, gather rate, and yet there's not really any extra travel time for the fishing boats. So that's always something really big to note here. And yeah, so taking a look at Hera's map here, he's got his TC on his wood line, stone behind his TC, and gold. So, sometimes you can try to harass a Mongo's base early, and you kind of want to take note of where's their stone mine and, where's their gold mine, and what's protected from the TC, what isn't protected from the TC. Is there anything that I can poke at, any damage I can cause or not?
Looking at the other side, you got Szalami here. With the English, he's going for that gold mine early on, also dropping a house right next to his town center. Looks like he's sending out no villager here to gather shorefish and build a dock, so it's likely just going to be a standard good old-fashioned longbow play from the English, something that the Mongols could potentially expect. And honestly, given the fact that the Mongols will probably try to deny your dock or burn it down in case you make it, it's probably the best idea, indeed, that you're not going for an early dock. Probably what I would suspect is that once Szalami has some sort of map control with the longbows and potentially a spearman, we could see a dock from him. Although, it is going to be Hera placing a dock in the middle. He had his villager all the way onto the left side and started to get a shortfish there, but he changes his mind. Probably spotted a deep fish, as you said before. That's going to be a massive boost over there for him. So, that's the reason why he's placing his dock on the central pond instead of the one on the left side.
Yeah, I think it's a good choice by Hera. I wonder if you could have placed it in that a little bit closer to the deep fish, kind of in that corner there. But this is kind of a good map, Jen, for Szalami here because there's no like side pond with a deep fish. Hera's forced to build this dock in the middle of a map, and this pond, it's a small pond that is very harassable. It potential to harass this pond with longbows, quite significantly. And yeah, looking at Salami's base, yeah, he went straight onto the gold, so that indicates he's not doing any fishing in Age 1, and he is just going to go for the really quick Age 2. And he's going to have a window, I think, with longbows to, potentially do quite a bit of damage here.
And the thing is that Hera opting to go for a fishing eco means that he needs to wait until that pays off, because right now this is a big investment, and as you see, his food bank currently sits at 50, so he's gonna have to wait a tiny bit until he gets the food he needs for Feudal Age. And that could give a very nice window for Szalami to potentially push him. So, English being a very good early aggressive civilization could definitely do a lot of damage here to Hera, as his villager is now under attack by the scout of Szalami. He's going to retaliate by knocking that sheep out from the back of the scout, but the villager will be forced back, so that is one less shore fishing villager out here, and Hera's Khan isn't really nearby. The wolf also gets aggroed on the Vil, and it is a legitimate possibility for Hera to even lose this Vil, although he's getting close to that town center, so he might be able to save it after all.
Yeah, definitely don't want to lose Vils early here, but yeah, it looks like Vil is going to get back home safely. And yeah, this is looking like there's potential good timing for Szalami. And one of the recent balance patches, Mongols they now start with 50 less wood. So before it was a bit easier to do these openings with Mongols, and a little bit harder now. And we're not seeing a Uvu from Hera at all. So he's not getting that stone circle quite yet. Prioritizing the dock and the fishing boats, which I think is a smart decision. He is now going to go for the Uvu. He wanted to get the fishing boats rolling first, and going to start working on his way to H2. But with the dock, 4 fishing boats, and an Uvu, it is going to slow down his H2 timing. So yeah, he'll definitely be getting up to H2 quite a bit later than Szalami here.
Exactly, he's just now building that Uvu, but as you said, this also means that his stone trickle just now begins, so obviously, once he gets to Feudal Age, he's gonna have way less stone to work with, meaning that it's gonna be a little more difficult to afford that double training, and we already have the longbows moving out here for Szalami. He is going to try pushing that fishing eco first, and at this point, as I said, especially given how late that dock was, this fishing eco is something that's very, very exposed. Hera just now edging up with the deer stones, but it's a legitimate possibility that all the fishing ships here will get picked off before Hera even gets to Feudal Age. The Khan is going to intercept the archers over here, but you gotta be careful. if you are Hera, because you could easily lose that con over there. Szalami is coming in with some palisades here. He's probably expecting some horseman counterattack here
Yeah.
from his opponent.
Such a cheesy player, and like this is just really high IQ stuff. I was first going to say like I really liked Hera's response where he actually built a stable as Mongols can make horsemen in H1, and it would be a great response to deal with these longbows. And yeah, Salami kind of maybe seeing that coming and just putting up a wall here. So longbows now starting to harass the fishing boats, and yeah, it's really interesting strategies here from both players.
Szalami also added an extra scout over here so he can start burning down the dock. As you could see, Hera jumped back into the dock over here with the fishing ships, and he's probably going to continue doing that just to make sure that there is no fishing ship he loses. But of course, slowly but surely the dock is being burned down, and don't underestimate the fact that this villager could also join the fun when it comes to burning down the dock. At this point for Szalami, it's already an accomplishment that he's idling the fishing ecos, so he's able to compensate for that very, very effectively. He might even take down one fishing ship over here, but Hera looks like he's going to be able to get it back into that dock. On the other side, Hera is coming in with the scouts, though. He's got double training going on right now for him, but he doesn't have the horseman upgrade just yet. He only has early horsemen going, and here come the towers. That's going to expand the network of castles influence, so you will have a rate of fire increase on those archers. If Szalami finds a way to get 2 or 3 spearmen on the battlefield, Hera could be in serious trouble here.
Yeah, and I think Hera is. Well, I was gonna say I think he's gonna go for a warship, a light junk, but he's not queuing one up, and I think he really should be here. If he doesn't queue one up soon, he's gonna, it's not gonna be able to train in time because the dock won't be alive for too much longer. But if he clicks the train one now, I think it would pop out and keep the dock alive. But I think Hera is perhaps going for something different and just gonna let this dock maybe go down, or he might try to save it with a horseman timing push. It looks like as he is now upgrading his horseman to the H2 horseman. But it's this dock is about to be on fire, and I think a warship could have been really good here.
Yeah, he decided to go for a blacksmith instead, so that's probably the reason why he didn't add a warship here, and he's going for a defense upgrade. Now, we have to keep in mind that the horseman recently got buffed, so their pierce armor is now much better in Feudal Legend. As he said, once he gets the actual horseman upgrade, and he's gonna have Iron Undermesh as well, his horseman will be extremely powerful. On the not so bright side of things for him right now, he's losing his dock, fishing ships will escape to the right side, and Hera is building a dock over there as well, so he's leveraging the fact that Szalami doesn't have a ton of mobility with those longbows, but Szalami will probably just switch focus now, and he's going to start pushing the lumberjacks of his opponent. Still no spearmen added though, and that is a little worrisome for Szalami, because those horsemen, they will have sufficient numbers to jump on those archers, and with a pierce armor or ranged armor of 2, it's gonna be relatively easy to clean up those longbows without spearman support.
Yeah, and this is a really nice response by Hera. He kept all of his fishing boats alive. Yeah, I don't think he didn't even lose one. And he's now building a dock to the side. This was quite a nice pond where, it's very large. So he was able to keep all the fishing boats alive and now build this dock, which is, very good play from Hera. And has a really good eco this entire time. Salami's moving forward with these walls still. Quite funny to see, such unique gameplay. Always cool to see these, different types of strategies here.
Szalami tried to kill that villager on the dock over there, but that will force Hera to move all the horsemen to the right. But that has serious implications here, because the moment you move those horsemen to the right side, Szalami is gonna know that because he sees them with the scout, so he can start crawling up with the longbows. The town center is gonna take some shots on those archers, so for now, Szalami is gonna get forced back. But look at all the lumberjacks of Hera. They are gone. They have to go all the way to the north. Luckily for him, he can replace the Gur because he can just move it away from that wood line. But as you see, now Szalami is starting to put up some pressure. And as you said, he's crawling up with those walls, making it very, very difficult for Hera to jump on those archers. And once we see some spearmen, things could get even more problematic for Hera. For the time being, it looks like Szalami is just going for full-on longbowman, though. Also as a blacksmith, and he's gotten the siege engineering upgrades, so rams could be a potential option very soon, but he hasn't gotten the attack upgrade just yet.
Yeah, but the one thing, Salami's his eco is quite poor behind this. the English eco isn't that strong, especially with no fishing or anything. And Hera's been having a pretty good eco this entire time. Just the 4 fishing boats now starting to add in more fishing boats, and the Uvu getting him some stone here, a stone trickle, and now Hera's moving in with his horsemen to try to do some harassing. While Szalami has the slow mobile units here.
That's a great move from Hera, and this is why it was so weird to see no barracks up until now from Szalami, because he really believed in his Vows, but if you don't have a fully walled base back at home, or if you don't have spearmen, it's going to be difficult to repel those horsemen. And now you see Salami's food eco is going to get pushed, his lumberjacks were idled as well, and a couple of villagers will go down over here. Hera gets a beautiful surround. That is at least 4 or 5 villagers being taken down here. Szalami not really reacting to this one. By the time the first spearman pops out, that is at least 6-7 villagers killed. Looking very difficult right now for Szalami, because he's nowhere close to cleaning this up. Other side though, you got the longbows moving in, and the Ovu is now potentially under attack, so you could lose the stable here for Hera. But as you said before, Hera's eco is much better right now. He actually is on a boar as well. So Szalami needs to find a way to clean this up, and ultimately I think adding a little less longbows and a couple more spearmen earlier could have actually worked so much better. He knew about the horsemen, but he just trusted his longbows a little too much maybe. Hera on the way to Castle Age right now with the step redoubt, and once he gets there, either Lancers or men-at-arms will be able to clean this army up without problems.
Yeah, Hera looking to be in a really good spot here, and really interesting, unique strategy here, creeping forward with the walls. But Mongols is probably the one civ it works the least against, because if Hera really wants to, he can just pack up his TC right now and just he can move his entire everything, every building he has, he can just pack up and move. And yeah, he's doing quite a bit of harassing here. There are now some spearmen next to the barriers here, but they're actually getting taken down by the Khan and these horsemen.
Indeed, Hera moves in for those villagers out there. He's going to lose a considerable amount of his horsemen, but he knows exactly he's up to Castle Age, so these are throwaway units at this point. And as you said, the Khan and the horsemen will just outnumber the spearmen so heavily over here, so Hera is now killing way too many eco from Szalami. Szalami is down to 30 vills. That being said, Hera is actually losing his town center right now, but I don't think that he has to sweat this one that much. He's got 2 more stables popping out, the Lancers, and given the fact that there is not a single spearman on the battlefield right now for Szalami, even just 2 or 3 Lancers can clean this force up without any major difficulties.
Yeah, definitely. And it kind of feels like, Szalami did a really good job with his longbows harassing the water initially, but it kind of felt like he needed to then transition on into the water himself. Like if he was able to do that harassing, push her off water, and then sneak on the water himself, he would have been able to keep up in the economy. But he pretty much just fell behind in economy. Hera doing a really great job holding on, and yeah, now he's got 4 knights pushing these longbows back.
There is 3 battering rams as well, a pretty big investment here for Szalami, and Hera doesn't have to fight those longbows at this point. He's gonna be more than happy destroying those rams out here. He's using the mobility of the Mongols so well. He's spread out to the right side, he moved away his town center to keep it away from harm from those rams, and as you see, those longbows won't be able to do much against those Lancers. Hera's gonna have a very continuous flow of Lancers coming in, and he's also grabbing the 2nd defense upgrade. So it's going to be very difficult for those longbows to do anything against those Lancers. And looking at Szalami's resource bank, he's nowhere close to Castle Age. He's just now setting up the farming eco, but we're looking at 31 compared to 53 eco. Only 80 food per minute for Szalami. This is looking next to impossible for him right now, because as you said, if there's one civilization that can survive this one so well, that's going to be Mongols, because they can just keep relocating and always retreating. If this was an HRE player, for example, it would be a lot scarier that you have 3 rams and a bunch of wolves crawling towards you.
Yeah, definitely. And Szalami could have potentially went for like a landmark victory condition, against like HRE as you're saying, or something like that. Just go for the TC, maybe the H3 landmark. But yeah, Hera just packing up shop and just moving that TC. It's a little bit harder to get the landmark victories, versus Mongols here. So Hera with some great responses, and now dropping a Seeds Workshop, allow him to maybe produce a Mangonel. Now with Mangonel on queue, and yeah, it's going to be able to kind of shut down all of Szalami's military here.
And in comes Hera here with the knights as well. He's going to start picking off villagers on the farming eco of Szalami. Szalami is going to lose 1, 2. He's retreating to the town center, but he's got virtually no defense back at home. And as you said, there's also Mangonel coming up inside his base. Szalami has no tools of defending his own base right now, and it's like that his economy is also going to collapse. He has no tools of going up into Castle Age, and with that, his chances of winning this game are next to non-existent.
Yeah, I think Salami's best chance is to actually go for a landmark victory. Oh, the Mangonel pops and the longbows take a pretty big hit there. But yeah, here, yeah, and there's the GG. Salami just tapping out, realizing he doesn't have a chance here. Yeah, really unique game. Salami pulling out the wild strategies once again here, and yeah, very cool to see this difference in a unique gameplay. But Hera coming out on top here in game 2.
Indeed, as you said, in this scenario, while this longbow push definitely was an intriguing idea, and it actually was a functioning idea because it was pretty good at pushing away Hera from the fish, one thing it couldn't really deal with is just the Mongols being able to relocate, so Hera just pulled away his town center. If this was a completely different civilization, you could just push up with 4 rams, take down the town center, take down the landmarks, and as you said, just win the game that way. But Mongols being able to constantly retreat is always gonna be a big thing. And of course that counterattack, because that counterattack at like minute 10 slowed down Szalami so much. He lost like 10-15 vills. He wasn't really expecting the horsemen to go and hit his eco, and they did. That made his eco much weaker, so it was more difficult to afford those rams for the upgrades, and it slowed down his push quite considerably, buying time for Hera to get to Castle Age.